A once-dismissed lawsuit against Augusta County Sheriff Department's First Sergeant Michael Roan for killing a family's pet dog was back in the courts earlier today. A Fourth U.S. Circuit Court of Appeals three-judge panel that included Chief Judge Roger Gregory heard arguments from the owner of the dog, Tina Ray's attorney, as well as from an attorney for the defendant. For those unfamiliar with the case, here's a little history. Officer Roan shot and killed Tina Ray's German Shepherd, Jax, while he was on a leash that was attached to a zip lead on her property located at 70 Westview Street in Greenville, Virginia. The lawsuit states that Roan executed a beloved family pet by calmly placing a gun to the dog's head and blowing his brains out. According to the lawsuit, on Sunday, September 24th, deputies arrived at Miss Ray's home to serve her with a warrant in an ongoing domestic dispute between Ray and her husband. Those deputies took turns petting Jax as they spoke to Miss Ray. The lawsuit goes on to state that Michael Roan came barreling up Miss Ray's driveway in his police truck like a bat out of hell and screeched to a halt directly under Jax's zip lead. At the same time, the deputies yelled at Roan, "Wait, let her get her dog." Roan did not wait. He got out of his vehicle and headed towards the house. The lawsuit goes on to state that Jax began barking and approached Roan. In response, Roan began moving backwards towards his truck and pulled out his gun. The lawsuit alleges that Jax had reached the end of his line and couldn't get any closer to Roan. Roan realized that and stopped backing up, then calmly took a step towards Jax and put his gun to the dog's head at point-blank range and shot him execution style. The lawsuit alleges that after that, Miss Ray and the four deputies watched in horror as Jax lay flopping on the ground in his play area. And it alleges that Roan callously stated, "Sometimes they do that." Plaintiff Tina Ray was represented by attorney Dallas LaPierre of the Nexus Derechos Humanos law firm out of Atlanta, Georgia. The Nexus Derechos Humanos law firm is funded by Nexus Services Incorporated. I caught up with two Nexus Services employees that were present in the courtroom during today's 1.5-hour hearing. King Salim Kalfani is the Director of Policy and Advocacy for Nexus Services. He said all three judges' questions and demeanor indicated to him that the judges weren't buying what Michael Roan's lawyer was trying to sell.
What I observed is that Officer Roan is in trouble because the three-judge panel, which included the Chief Justice, Roger Gregory, were not impressed with the arguments of his defense team. And it was very clear that he was out of danger or having never been in danger, as they interpreted, and that he took a step forward and executed the dog. And so this case has a good chance of withstanding summary judgment, and that he will be found to have constitutionally violated the rights of that dog.
Anthony Anderson is the public advocacy manager for Nexus Services. He was present in the courtroom as well and echoed King Salim Kalfani's sentiments.
The judge is really trying to get to the root of the issue in which the dog was killed and the dog wasn't posing a threat. I think the judges, tried to bring out the constitution of the case and telling the attorney for the officer that basically that the dog was on a leash that ran from 25 feet, and the owner of the dog actually being there and still restraining the dog, making sure the dog couldn't go no further. Even if, like the judge said, even if the owner of the dog would have let the leash go, it still couldn't have went no more than 25 feet. And you took a step forward instead of taking a step back in your profession. Say, as an officer, why would you put yourself in danger when you could take a step back to come out of danger? But what you did was your officer stepped forward and shot the dog point blank in the head, put the gun to the nozzle of the gun to the dog's head and executed the dog. And there was no justification in the body language of all three judges that they did have a major problem with the officer's actions, and basically all of them said that what the officer did wasn't right.
Now, most cases that are heard in this court are decided in a 1 to 6 month time frame. Once a ruling is made, we will update our viewers with that information. According to Augusta County Sheriff Donald Smith, First Sergeant Michael Roan is also the focus of an internal investigation for checking out evidence at the Augusta County Sheriff's Department and never returning it. Of course, with all of the recent evidence that Smith is a liar, I'm not sure how reliable the sheriff's word is on this matter either. In Richmond, Theodore Whitelow, Breaking Through News.